Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 9. Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Vamos a leer de Srimad Bhagavatam, 10º canto, capítulo 9. La Madre Yashoda ata a Sri Krishna. Text 12, verso 12. Translation, purport, traducción, significado, su divina gracia, hace Bhakti-yoga Swami Prabhupada. Tyaktva yashtim sutam bhitam Vigyayar bhaka vatsala Iyesha kilatam badhum Damna tadvirya kovida Tyaktva yashtim sutam bhitam Vigyayar bhaka vatsala Iyesha kilatam badhum Damna tadvirya kovida Tyaktva yashtim sutam bhitam Vigyar bhakavatsala Iyesha kilatam badhum Damna tadvirya kovida Tyaktva, throwing away, tirar, yashtim, the stick in her hand, el palo que llevaba en la mano, sutam, her son, a su hijo, bitam, considering her son's great fear, teniendo en cuenta que su hijo tenía mucho miedo. Vigyaya, understanding, al entender. Arbhakavatsala, the most affectionate mother of Krishna, la muy cariñosa madre de Krishna. Iyesha, desired, deseo. Kila, indeed, en verdad. Tam, Krishna, a Krishna. Badhum, to bind, atar. Damna, with a rope, con una cuerda. Atat viryakovida, without knowledge of the supremely powerful personality of Godhead, because of intense love for Krishna. Sin conocimiento de la supremamente poderosa personalidad de Dios debido al intenso amor por Krishna. Ya sé que es demasiado para recordar. Translation, traducción. Mother Yashoda was always overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing who Krishna was or how powerful he was. Sin saber quién era Krishna, ni hasta dónde llegaba su poder, Madre Yashoda estaba siempre cautivada de un intenso amor por su hijo. Because of maternal affection for Krishna, she never even cared to know who he was. Debido a su cariño maternal por Krishna, nunca se preocupó siquiera de saber quién era él. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. Por eso, Cuando vio que su hijo tenía muchísimo miedo, soltó el palo y se propuso atarle para que no cometiese nuevas travesuras. Purport, significado. Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna not in order to chastise him, but because she thought that the child was so restless that he might leave the house in fear. Madre Yashoda quería atar a Krishna no para castigarle, sino porque pensaba que el niño era tan inquieto y estaba tan asustado que era capaz de irse de casa. That would be another disturbance. Y eso supondría nuevos problemas. Therefore, because of full affection, to stop Krishna from leaving the house, she wanted to bind him with rope. Por esa razón, y llevada del profundo cariño que sentía por él, se propuso atarle con una cuerda para impedir que se fuese de casa. Mother Yashoda wanted to impress upon Krishna that since he was afraid merely to see her stick, he should not perform such disturbing activities as breaking the container of yogurt and butter and distributing its contents to the monkeys. Madre Yashoda quería hacer entender a Krishna que si el simple hecho de ver el palo le daba tanto miedo, no debía realizar actividades tan molestas como romper los recipientes de yogur y mantequilla y repartir su contenido entre los monos. Mother Yashoda did not care to understand who Krishna was and how his power spread everywhere. This is an example of pure love for Krishna. A Madre Yashoda no le importaba entender quién era Krishna, ni que su poder se extiende por todas partes. El suyo es un ejemplo de amor puro por Krishna. So, in the previous verse, we heard how yogis, jnanis, and karmis, they try to approach Krishna, but they remain actually far away. En el verso anterior escuchamos que los yogis, los jnanis y los karmis, ellos intentan acercarse a Krishna, pero se quedan lejos de él. They try to, the jnanis try to, and yogis try to enter into the bodily effulgence. And even that, they are not able to do. Los jnanis, los yogis, intentan entrar en la refulgencia de su cuerpo y no son capaces de hacerlo. We have a verse in Brahma Samhita which speaks about this. Tenemos un verso en la Brahma Samhita que habla de eso. Pantastu koti shatas vatsara sampragamyo vayoradhapi manaso munipungavanam sopyaste yatprapa simnya avichintya tatve govinda madi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years. Adoro a Govinda, el Señor primigenio, cuyos, ¿cómo se llama? Tip of the toe. The tip of the toe. La punta de los dedos, ¿no? Los yogis intentan acercarse a las puntas de los dedos de los pies de loto de Krishna, y lo intentan con llevando a cabo el pranayama, controlar la respiración, Y los gyanis, ellos intentan averiguar cuál es el Brahman no diferenciado, eliminando lo mundano, y lo hacen durante miles y de millones de años. En el significado se dice, para llegar a los pies del loto de Govinda hay que llevar a cabo o entrar en la modalidad de la devoción sin mezcla, o la devoción pura. El Kaivalya, el estado de donde no hay diferencias, que aspiran los Ashtanga yogis, practicando el trance durante millones de años, y el estado de entrar o sumergirse en el aspecto impersonal de Dios, más allá de este mundo, lo alcanzan los no dualistas después de un periodo similar, quiere decir millones de años, eliminando o haciendo distinción entre lo espiritual y no espiritual. Con esa fórmula, eso no y aquello tampoco. Y ellos llegan solamente a las afueras de los pies del loto de Krishna, ni siquiera a los pies del loto mismos. Eso quiere decir, o sea, para resumir, dice el significado, que Kaivalya, o sumergirse en el Brahman, eso ocurre en la frontera entre el mundo material y el mundo trascendental. Y a menos que uno da un paso más allá de esa demarcación, uno no puede saborear la variedad de la esfera trascendental. Ese estado de los yogis y gyanis simplemente significa una ausencia de miseria que se produce en el mundo material, pero no es verdadera felicidad. Si llamamos a la ausencia de miseria felicidad o placer, en realidad es muy pequeño, muy insignificante y no tiene mucha consecuencia. No es suficiente para destruir la condición de la conciencia material. La verdadera ganancia del alma es la existencia eterna en su estado autorrealizado. Y eso solamente se puede alcanzar mediante la gracia de la devoción pura, que es del carácter chit o trascendental. Entonces, esa es la diferencia, como hemos visto en estos versos. This is the difference we have seen in these verses between Yanis, yogis, great scholars, and a devotee like Mother Yashoda. Esa es la diferencia que hemos visto en estos versos entre los grandes eruditos y yogis, gyanis, y la Madre Yashoda. There is, as it was explained in this verse, at the end, Prabhupada says, this is an example of pure love for Krishna. Como Prabhupada dice al final del significado, de ella es un ejemplo de amor puro por Krishna. And she was not interested, she did not care to understand who Krishna was and how his power spreads everywhere. No le importaba entender quién era Krishna ni que su poder se extiende por todas partes. And those who try to understand this, as it is explained in this verse from Brahma Samhita, and those aquellos que intentan de hacerlo, como se explica en este verso de la Brahma Samhita, Koti Shata, thousands of millions of years, miles de millones de años. They can, Vayo Adhapi Manaso, they may move with the velocity, the speed of the wind or even the mind. Puede que se muevan con la velocidad del viento o de la mente. And still, they can't really approach the lotus feet, even the lotus feet of the Lord, what to speak of the Lord himself in his pastimes. Ni siquiera se pueden acercar directamente a los pies del loto del Señor, que decir a él en sus pasatiempos. They remain outside, even just trying to approach the tip of the lotus feet, the tip of the toe of a lotus foot. No, ni siquiera pueden llegar a la punta de un dedo de los pies. So, and somebody like Mother Yashoda, she can have Krishna as her child and chastise him, running after him with a stick in her hand. Y una devota como la Madre Yashoda puede tener Krishna como su hijo y intentar castigarle y perseguirle con un palo en la mano. So this is, how is this to be explained? That ultimately one cannot approach the Lord by one's own effort. Entonces la conclusión es que no podemos acercarnos al Señor con el propio o solamente con el propio esfuerzo. Only when the Lord is disposed, favorably disposed, he will reveal himself. Solamente cuando el Señor está dispuesto, favorablemente dispuesto, se va a revelar. Therefore we have this verse, Atakshi Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grayam Indriyai, that the Indriyas, the senses, which include the mind, Manasa, they are not able to approach the Lord, Krishna Nama Adi, the name of the Lord, and Adi, whatever else is related to the Lord, his form, his pastimes, his qualities, etc. So the senses, the mind, don't have the capacity to approach. So ese verso se dice que la mente, los sentidos, los indriyas, no tienen la capacidad de acercarse a Krishna Nama Adi, Krishna y su nombre y todo lo demás que se relaciona con él, sus cualidades, sus pasatiempos, su forma, etc. So then how can one know or have a relationship with Krishna? Entonces, ¿cómo se puede tener una relación? ¿O cómo se puede saber algo o entender a Krishna? Sevan Mukhahi Jiva. Everything begins with service, seva. Todo empieza con servicio, and this service begins with jiva, not jiva, jiva, the tongue, la lengua, which means chanting and tasting. Significa cantar y saborear. Chant Hare Krishna and take prasada. That's the process. Cantar Hare Krishna y tomar prasada. And even before chanting Hare Krishna, many times it just means take prasada. Sí, muchas veces significa antes de poder cantar Hare Krishna, toma mucho prasada. I've mentioned this a few times. He mencionado algunas veces. In two instances, in dos ocasiones. El primero era el 72 en Holanda, when Prabhupada in Netherlands, when we had this public program in Wondel Park, and there were thousands of hippies, cuando tuvimos un programa público en un parque, en Wondel Park, y había miles de hippies. And Prabhupada saw the scene that these people are intoxicated and they have no capacity to understand philosophy. Vio el panorama que esa gente era todos intoxicados y no eran capaces de entender filosofía. So he didn't speak practically nothing. And he told us, just give them prasada. And then if somebody takes a book, then they're very fortunate. Entonces nos dijo que simplemente hay que distribuir prasadam a esas personas. Y a alguien afortunado, si toma un libro, pues mejor. And at this time, he wrote a letter to Hridayananda Maharaj. He escribió una carta a Hridayananda Maharaj, who was preaching in America in the universities. Y él estaba predicando en Estados Unidos, en las universidades. And he said that we are seeing here in Europe that people are not very much inclined or even capable of understanding philosophy. Que vemos aquí en Europa que mucha gente no está ni interesada ni capaz de entender filosofía. So he said, he told him that don't speak too much, no hace falta hablar demasiado. So prasadam is when people take prasadam, they become purified, and then maybe they will be able to understand. Primero la gente tomará prasadam, si se purifica, entonces podrá entender. And the second time was 2 years later, 74 in Germany. Public program also, very few people, not much interest, and stupid questions. Otro programa público en el 74 en Alemania, poca gente, poco interés, y si había preguntas tontas. So Prabhupada also told us, just distribute prasadam. Nos dijo que simplemente hay que distribuir prasadam. So, Sevonmukhi Jivado, the process of understanding, get some understanding of Krishna, begins with the tongue. Entonces el proceso de entender a Krishna empieza con la lengua. Sevonmukhi Jivado Svayameva Spuratyaya. Then Krishna will reveal himself when he is pleased with the devotee who is sincerely trying to chant his glories and honor the remnants of food offered to him. Then he may reveal himself. Entonces, cuando él ve que el devoto está intentando de glorificarle con la lengua y saborear las ofrendas, los alimentos que se le habían ofrecido, entonces Krishna, cuando está complacido, se puede o se revelará. And it depends on him to what extent he will reveal. Y depende de él hasta qué punto se va a revelar. That also depends on one side, the desire of the devotee, and on the other side of the adhikar, the eligibility. Entonces eso depende de dos cosas. Por un lado el deseo del devoto y por otro lado el adhikar, la elegibilidad o la cualificación. Desire means how, if one develops devotion, bhakti, how do I like to relate to the Lord? O sea, deseo quiere decir cuando se desarrolla el bhakti, la devoción, ¿cómo quiero relacionarme con el Señor? Like here in this case, it's parental love. En ese caso es el amor parental. Mother Yashoda wants to serve Krishna in the form of a small child. La Madre Yashoda quiere servir a Krishna en la forma de un niño pequeño. Other devotees may want to serve the Lord in a different aspect. Otros devotos quizás quieren servirle al Señor en otro aspecto. And Krishna will reveal himself, he will manifest himself according to that desire of the devotee. Y entonces el Señor, Krishna, se va a revelar, se va a manifestar ante el devoto según ese deseo. And that is Goloka Vrindavan, and on other spiritual planets the Lord may take other forms according to the desire of the devotee. Eso es Goloka Vrindavan. Y en otros planetas espirituales el Señor puede que tome otras formas para relacionarse con su devoto, like he can come as Nishingadev, and Prahlad Maharaj will worship him in that form. He will not worship the Lord as a baby. We don't have that pastime. No tenemos el pasatiempo que Prahlad va a adorar al Señor como bebé. lo adorará como designaré. So, but this is the whole point. The yogis and the jnanis, they try for millions of years to approach the Lord, understand Him, and they cannot. They're not able because there's no bhakti. Entonces ese es el punto principal, que los jnanis y los yogis intentan acercarse al Señor, entender al Señor, y no podrán porque no hay bhakti. And unless the Lord is pleased and reveals Himself, you can try whatever you want and you will not be able to. Y a menos que el Señor está complacido y se revela, no hay manera de acercarse. Not even to the tip of the toes of the lotus feet. Ni siquiera a las puntas de los dedos de los pies del loto. Okay. Any comment or question? ¿Alguna pregunta, un comentario?
Sí.
Thank you, gracias. No siempre nos salvas.
Bueno, sí. ¿Cómo asegurarnos de que nuestro servicio no es simplemente cuestión de tapas y austeridad como los jnanis y los yogis, sino que está predominado por el bhakti? ¿Qué es lo que nos va a asegurar? ¿Cómo podemos promocionar eso? Asegurarnos de que nos quedamos enredados en el aspecto técnico o austero.
Well, there might be two answers to this. Podemos tener dos respuestas, dos aspectos. On one hand, service shouldn't be whimsical, ¿no? Por un lado, el servicio no debería ser caprichoso. If it's authorized, if it's given by higher authority, then we can be pretty sure if we do the service nicely that we'll get a good result. Si tenemos un servicio que nos han dado autoridades superiores, los sadhus, guru, sadhu, entonces es muy probable que el servicio dará un resultado positivo. If we invent our own way, ¿no? If we speculate, si inventamos un propio método, especulamos, then that is very risky, ¿no? Es muy arriesgado. And we have seen this, lo hemos visto. Somebody reads something somewhere, and then one concludes, oh, I should do this. ¿No? Alguien lee algo en alguna parte, entonces concluye, debería hacer esto. For example, we hear that from the 6 Goswamis that you should reduce your eating practically to nil, ¿no? Escuchamos que acerca de los 6 Goswamis que el comer debemos reducirlo prácticamente a nulo. So, I've seen it. Somebody then concluded I will practically stop eating. Alguien concluyó que voy a dejar de comer prácticamente. And then during the whole week he was not eating. Durante toda la semana, como ayunando, no estaba comiendo. Then when the Sunday feast came, this was it. It's not possible to continue. And then, of course, not just one plate, not 2 plates, maybe 3 plates like this. And then another week fasting. I mean, ¿no? O sea, cuando llega la fiesta de domingo, se rompió todo el plan y no un plato ni 2, sino 3, así de grandes. Y luego otra vez una semana ayunando. That is, how do we call it? Whimsical, yeah, speculative devotional service, ¿no? Servicio devocional especulativo, caprichoso. No. So best is to follow higher authority. Lo mejor es seguir bajo la guía de autoridad superior. Then on the other hand, the second aspect to the answer to the question, el segundo aspecto, la segunda respuesta a la pregunta es, Srila Prabhupada always quotes a verse saying if you want to know whether you are advancing in Krishna consciousness, then you apply this formula. Nobody else will have to tell you. Entonces hay un verso que Prabhupada cita y dice que si uno quiere saber si avanza en la conciencia de Krishna, aplica lo que se dice en este verso y no hace falta que una otra persona te da un certificado. Ese es el Bhakti Pareshanubhava Viraktir Anyatra. Trika Ekakala. Three things will happen simultaneously when advancement takes place. Hay tres cosas que se manifiestan cuando uno está avanzando. It's compared to eating, se compara al comer. First of all, it should taste good, you like it, what you eat, ¿no? Primero lo que se come sabe bien y uno le gusta. And then while you eat, you get strength. Cuando uno está comiendo, tiene, o sea, ¿cómo se dice?
Fuerza.
Sí, tiene fuerza o se nutre, la nutrición. And hopefully before you began eating, you were hungry, ¿no? Eso es lo mejor. Y antes de que empezaste a comer, tenías hambre. And while you eat, to the degree that you eat more and more, the hunger will disappear, ¿no? Y entonces cuando uno está comiendo, a la medida que se coma, el hambre desaparece. So that is compared to advancing in Krishna consciousness. Bhakti, there will be a feeling of devotion, satisfaction in the service. Para Isha Anubhava, one will feel the presence of the Lord in his life. Uno va a sentir la presencia del Señor en su vida. Y virakti, the interest for material things will diminish and disappear. Y el interés por las cosas materiales va a disminuir y va desapareciendo. And then you know. And if you, as you say, maybe you do some service speculative, then these things will not manifest, ¿no? Y si uno lleva a cabo servicio así caprichoso, especulativo, esos resultados no se van a manifestar. So, yeah.
I heard from Amsterdam that Prabhupada was saying there was too much of everything. Like intoxication, drugs and alcohol and illicit sex. So he said that the only way was to provide prasadam because he was afraid that they were using the papers of his book for rolling paper.
What? For what paper?
For rolling papers. He
Warming.
was afraid.
Warming?
To make a fire.
Rolling paper.
Rolling for smoking.
Rolling paper. To make it balls.
So,
No, it was just a command I heard from somebody.
no sé, I don't know whether I really understood everything, maybe even acoustically. So he said, what did he say? That
He was afraid that people were using, because there are so many coffee shops in Amsterdam, he said there's so much intoxication in Amsterdam, like drugs, alcohol, illicit sex.
And they would use the books for rolling paper?
The pages of the books for rolling papers.
When did he say that?
That he said in Amsterdam.
Well, how do you know that? Where does
That Yashoda told me.
Who?
Yashoda told me.
Who's Yashoda?
Yesterday,
Well, how does he know? I never heard this. I mean, I never heard this. Sounds interesting. I mean, could be. This is the first time in 50 years that I heard this, and definitely in 72. I never heard this. To who did he say that? That's another question.
No, he was there in Amsterdam with these hippies and...
But who? Yashoda?
I don't know if Yashoda was there.
No, I definitely wasn't there. Maybe not even born at the time.
No.
But I'm wondering, where does he get it from? These stories we have to see. I mean, if this was true, I'm sure some memory of ITV with Siddhanta, it would be there. Because who was there? I can tell you who was there. I mean, with Prabhupada was Pradyumna, Nanda Kumar, and Shyamasundar. They never even mentioned this. I never heard this, unless it's in the Rhino book from 72. I don't think so. Hansaruta, Himamani, you know, all of us, and I have all the memories in my book. And never ever anybody said something like that. I mean, definitely, but we can take it as a nice, you know, it's possible. You know, that, but then...
The point was better to give them prasadam because otherwise the paper of the book, they will use it for that.
Therefore, I don't think that's true, because he told us, you know, they should take prasadam, and if somebody takes a book, then that is very good. I mean, I don't think ever Prabhupada would think, oh, don't distribute books here, they may use it for rolling cigarettes. No creo que Prabhupada alguna vez había dicho que mejor aquí no se distribuyen libros porque van a usar el papel para hacer cigarrillos. I think that's really a speculation. I don't believe the story, so let's forget it. Yo creo que es una especulación esa historia, mejor olvidarla. ¿Alguna vez has escuchado eso? No. Yo tampoco. Nunca en la vida. So, let's forget about the whole story. We spent 5 minutes on it. Anyway, so this is also whimsical devotional service. You know. Don't invent. No hay que inventar nada. No hace falta. But let's think about it. I mean, if you distribute books, you may think, oh, what will they do with it? They may throw it away. That's out of your hands. We still distribute books, and Krishna, whatever.
No, but it was actually an example for how you say that the message was not getting into them.
Yeah, but he never said this, I think. El punto es que no se distribuyen libros, lo que la gente luego hace con el libro. ¿Qué se va a hacer? Sí, a lo mejor alguien lo mete en la estufa. And we have seen sometimes they throw it into the garbage, and then the devotee saw this and he takes it out again. ¿No? Y algunas veces se ha visto que tiraron el libro a la basura y algún devoto lo había visto y recogió el libro de nuevo. But generally, the idea is, even if they don't read the book, I mean, and Prabhupada said, even if they just hold it, there's a benefit, ¿no? Incluso si solamente toman el libro en sus manos y ni siquiera si lo leen, tienen un beneficio. Pero vamos a suponer que, bueno, no lo lee la persona.
It's also like books, if they are spread and people don't read them, they go in second-hand shops.
That's right. Yes, they go in second-hand shop, or they stay in the library in the house. Just put it on the shelf, and you don't read it. And somebody else will come in. Exactly, that's the point. No, ese es el punto, que el libro quizás termina en la estantería y la persona jamás lo abre ni lo lee. Pero luego viene el nieto de la persona. Después de 30 o 40 años, coge el libro, what is this? Oh, you know, and he becomes a devotee. ¿No? Entonces después de 30, 40 años, un grandson, un nieto viene y lo lee y se hace devoto. O sea, books are the basis. La base. But anyway, in the context, the idea was not to talk too much philosophy to people, because they just have no brain to understand. Just give them prasada, not waste your time. ¿No? En ese contexto la idea era no malgastar el tiempo hablando y argumentando con personas que no son capaces de entender filosofía. Mejor es darles prasada. Si escuchan un kirtan, muy bien, pero machacar filosofía, ¿para qué? ¿No? Or sometimes arguing with some die-hard Christian or impersonalist. It's just a waste of time, and it can only produce offenses by the other person.
Yeah,
o argumentando con personas como un cristiano muy convencido o un Mayavadi, solamente es una pérdida de tiempo por un lado y puede provocar fácilmente ofensas de la otra persona.
I also read that there was this priest or missionary that believed that animals had no soul. That was the reason why they loved to.
It's very common understanding. Yeah.
But it's a,
so, pasada, then he will understand. ¿No? O sea, la gente sí tiene muchos conceptos erróneos, como los animales no tienen alma, por lo tanto lo podemos matar y comer sin problema. Es una cosa, ¿no? It's not a living entity. No, they think it's just a thing. It's not a living entity. No es una entidad viviente, sino solamente un objeto, una cosa como una planta. Actually, in Bengal, they call the fish jalapal.
Fruta de agua. Fruta de agua.
Bengali. Yeah, no, this is it's a very, very clever idea. Yeah, the fruit of the water, a water fruit.
Así se lo comen tranquilo.
No, aquí lo dicen, que dicen de los mariscos.
¿Qué dice?
Frutos, no sé.
Mariscos.
No, frutos del mar, ¿no?
Yeah.
¿No lo llaman frutos del mar?
No lo he escuchado.
No lo he escuchado yo.
En Francia.
Me suena algo.
But do plants have
No es
also a
muy
spirit?
popular.
No es muy popular,
Si lo
¿no?
usan, no se usa mucho.
Solamente en Valencia.
But plants also have a spirit, or not?
Yes.
Now comes the argument. Yes, but you're also killing plants.
No, but
No, that's true. So, therefore, as Bhagavatam says, como es jivan jivasya jivanam. No? One life subsists on another life. No? En el Bhagavatam dice, una vida se alimenta de otra vida. So therefore, this is inevitable. You have to take somebody's life. No? Es inevitable, hay que tomar la vida de alguien. But there's a difference cutting, you know this, lechuga, a salad, and cutting the throat of a poor goat or cow or whatever.
No, but the plants are made for it also.
But
They give.
the others are also made, but not for you. No, they're made for, the tiger has a right to eat an animal, that's his dharma. But it's not your dharma. Anyway, so, cada entidad viviente vive de otra entidad viviente. Entonces, hay que tomar la vida de otra, pero el ser humano, o sea, hay una diferencia en cortar el cuello de un animal y cortar una lechuga. No, just for the simple fact that an animal will protest and try to get away, and a plant doesn't feel the pain in that same way. No? Y la diferencia es que el animal va a protestar y va a intentar escapar. Y hay dolor, obviamente, que va a sentir, mientras la planta no protesta y tampoco siente ese grado de dolor.
No, but if you also see for example, the eggplant, it gives the vegetables and then afterward it dies. So it's the function.
That's even another aspect. If you just talk about fruits, like they fall from a tree, then the tree, you don't even touch the tree. You know, it just gives the fruit, and if you don't take it, it will rot.
Yeah.
¿No? Si vamos a la fruta, entonces sí, los árboles dan la fruta y tú la tomas y el árbol no le tocas, no le haces ningún daño. Y si no lo tomas la fruta, se va a echar a perder, se va a podrir en el suelo. So therefore, yes, if one can, but anyway, I think it's clear. Okay, this is it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Gauravani ki jai. Hare Krishna.